Hey everyone, my name's Gabriel Biderman from National Parks at Night. Using a tripod offers the ultimate in safety and stability for your precious camera gear. When I started working at B&H, I started right here in the tripods department. And I worked here for several years and I love using tripods. It is key for what I do in night photography, which makes up 90% of the images I take. So today, I'm going to share with you my 5 tips on how to choose the right tripod. Tip number 1, figuring out your budget. Okay, tripods come in all different price ranges, from $30 to up to $3,000. We all know kind of what our budget range is. So figure out your budget, and that will help limit us to, the 3,000 choices to probably just maybe 40 choices for you to figure out. So what dictates the price of a tripod? Well, usually the materials, what it's made up of. So plastic tripods, which are often the first tripod someone owns, you get it as part of the school program or what have you. These are under $100, but all the materials here are made of plastic. So is it gonna last a lifetime? No. Is it gonna last a couple years? Hopefully, so this is your budget one. Then the main materials that you're gonna find with tripods is they're made of either aluminum or carbon fiber. Okay, aluminum, both of these materials are very, very strong and supportive to your gear. Aluminum just weighs more, and that's one of the lightest metals out there. Carbon fiber, now this is super strong material that is ultra light. With an aluminum tripod, you're gonna be carrying, usually they start at about 3 pounds and go up to 6 pounds of weight. Carbon fibers can be 2.5 pounds to about 4 pounds, and I'm talking sort of your full-size tripods. What kind of photographer are you? Are you someone who's a hiker? Okay, so if you're a hiker, then yes, weight makes a big difference, and shaving off a half a pound, 2 pounds is going to be key. Now, if you're someone who just works indoors or in a studio or doesn't go farther than say 50 yards from your car when you're outdoors, then aluminum is going to save you a little bit of money and won't cause you any backache. And if you're new to tripods, what I would recommend as sort of entry-level ones is either the MePhoto or the Manfrotto Be-Free tripods. These are available both in aluminum and carbon fiber and generally range in that $200 to $300 range, which is a great starting point to invest in a tripod. All right, tip number 2, finding the tripod that matches your height. Now again, tripods come in all sorts of heights, and as do we, so finding the one that best matches your height. Now, B&H offers specific specifications on our website, and we want to look at the maximum height without the center column extended, because it'll say your maximum height as well as your maximum height without the center column extended. When we bring up the center column, this point right here is going to be the least stable. So we're going to have always when we set up a tripod, we want to set up the legs first and the center column last. And hopefully maybe we don't even need it, especially if you find one that matches your height. Now this one is now it seems like a little short to me. Now again, remember that we've got the ball head on here. We're going to add a camera. And then when you measure, you know how tall you are, but where our eyes are probably about 3 inches down, right? So don't take your full height. So we're gonna add probably another 3 inches and subtract 3 inches from our height. So, when you look on those specs online, if you don't get a chance to size it up in person, look at those specs online, look at that maximum height without the center column, and then usually add about 6 inches, add about 8 inches if it doesn't come with a ball head, because we're gonna add a ball head, add a camera, and then have it come to our height. Now, finding the right one, is we don't wanna be always kind of bending over our tripod. We don't wanna be on our tiptoes. We wanna have it be a comfortable experience. So let's see. I'm gonna pretend I'm Goldilocks right now. And this tripod is a little too short for me. This one's getting closer, right? But it looks like this one, when we add the ball head, add the camera, this is gonna match up pretty nicely to me. So again, size up that tripod and figure out which one best matches you. All right, tip number 3, the load capacity of your tripod. Each tripod is rated to hold a certain amount of weight. Now, most tripods, most standard size tripods, are gonna be rated to hold anywhere from 8 to 15 pounds for those, especially those entry level to intermediate ones. But tripods can also hold up to 80 pounds of gear. How much does your gear weigh? Now, I know sometimes when we're walking around on our shoulder, we got our full-size tripod, a 70 to 200 lens, it feels like a ton. But come on, folks, realistically, it only weighs about 4 to 6 pounds, right? Depending upon the camera and that lens, you're generally only walking around with that much weight. And most of these tripods that you see here can hold that weight. So again, check that out, check that load capacity. Make sure it best matches the tools that you have. If you're doing birding photography and you got those lenses that are this big, then yeah, you're gonna want something rated that goes up to 20 plus pounds to make it very comfortable and durable. Now, key to the sort of how much it can hold is sort of the diameter of the legs. So here we have these 2 tripods. Now, how strong it is right here in that sort of the neck of the tripod is going to be key to how much it can hold. But also notice the thickness, that diameter of these legs. And those thicker legs are going to be more stable and secure for your gear. Tip number 4, choosing between a traveler tripod or a full-size tripod. There are benefits to both. When I first started working in the tripod department at B&H, there was one traveler tripod. It was this puppy right here, the Gitzo Series 1 traveler tripod. And it revolutionized what people thought of tripods. Tripods before that were pretty much dedicated to nature, wildlife photographers, or studio people, and they were too big and too bulky for the rest of the world. But here was now a 3-pound tripod that people can bring with them anywhere they go. The beauty of travel tripods, which now are moved from 1 to thousands of travel tripods, that is the largest segment of tripods out on the market, is its extreme portability. A travel tripod can collapse down and fit into your tote bag, your weekender, and will fit in almost any suitcase to bring with you everywhere you go. In fact, travel tripods inspire you to use the tripod. Now, we've had another tripod come out in the last few years that's also revolutionized how we think of that compact traveler tripod, and that is the Peak Design tripod. This is currently the smallest full-size tripod out on the market. And you can see here it is, it collapses down to 15 inches. It's available in carbon fiber or aluminum, and gets up to about a little over 51 inches without the center column extended, right? So even though it's a little short, I actually own this tripod myself. I just extend the center column just a little bit, and then it really, with a little bit of a lunge, it fits my size. Now, full-size tripods are going to be the ultimate in stability, right? And here we've got one right here. So these do not collapse, generally below 20 inches. So how are you going to move around with that? You have to actually make sure it's going to fit hopefully the biggest suitcase you have, or you're going to strap it onto your backpack. So travel tripods, easy to travel with. Full-size tripods, maybe not so much. So consider how you're going to travel with this, maybe even get a tripod bag to bring it along. However, when we compare them side by side, we can see that full-size tripods, the legs, the diameter of those legs are going to be much thicker, and they're going to be easier to match up to your height, especially if you're 6 foot or taller. So which one's best for you? Well, if you're like me, you have one of each. Tip number 5, make friends with your tripod. Now, unfortunately, most tripods do not come with a manual. So here are some bonus tips to help you have a long and happy relationship with your tripod. First is, tripods come in a variety of different leg locks. People love the clip leg locks because they're easy to use. You snap them locked and you snap them loose and they easily set up. However, most professional tripods come with twist locks, right? And these actually do offer a better security with it too. Now here's the tip with using twist locks, is it is a quarter turn and then you pull them out, okay? If you're turning more than a quarter turn, stop what you're doing, reset yourself and your tripod, and think, again, lefty loosey, righty tighty here, because if you turn too much, your leg is going to come out, and there's all these little bits and bobs in there that are key to holding it together, and you're going to be having to assemble it again like a jigsaw puzzle. So again, quarter turn, and then go counterclockwise to lock. Again, and you can see how easy it is and quick to set up. If you do the one hand over, quarter turn, pull, extend, and then go back and lock everything up, okay? Now some tripods also have, just as a reminder, which way it is to lock and unlock right there. Bonus tip number 2 is keeping it clean. Now, a lot of people take dramatic shots by the beach, by a lot of sand and water and everything like that. And yeah, get in there, get the shot. Use a tripod to get those epic long exposures there. But oftentimes, salt water and sand can get up into the mechanisms here of the locks. So if you're out there in the field and it is sandy or has seawater in there, you don't want to collapse your tripod out in the field. Just keep it extended as it was, bring it back to the car, and then bring it home or to the hotel and give it a hose down or a little wash in the tub. Rinse it off to make sure all sand is off. So otherwise, if there's sand in here and we collapse it, we're now pushing that sand and salt water up into the locking mechanism, and is gonna make your locking mechanism crunchy and not so smooth. And then finally, bonus tip is just take long walks. Get to know your tripod. Like any piece of new gear or gear that's been sitting in your closet because you're too intimidated to use it or whatever, is get to know your tripods. That's where that travel tripod or that compact tripod inspires you to take it out for walks. So go out there, get some ND filters and do some long exposures during the day or night. But the more you use it, I believe, the more you're gonna love it. Okay, folks, well, I hope this has helped guide you in choosing the right tripod. But if you want to learn more about tripods and all the gear that is out there to help photographers and videographers be more creative, join me and a host of other professional photographers at the upcoming Kelby One Gear Conference, May 17th and 18th. Click on the link below.